Weezer.com. Thanks for clicking in. This is our beginner rock video. Rock guitar is actually a whole lot of fun to play. But one thing you may have seen perusing the internet, looking at tabs, is something called power chords. Now this is a huge part of rock and roll. Definitely from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, all sorts of different styles of rock music, from grunge to classic rock. The early Iron Maiden and all that stuff is all power chords. So I'm going to show you how to make two different kinds of power chords. One that is based off the E string, and what that means is the root of the chord is based off the E string, and the root is the note that gives it its name, whether it's A power chord or B power chord. So that's very important. And then obviously the root is going to be on the E string. So let's take a look here. I'm going to show you how to formulate your first power chord. We're going to start this one up on the 5th fret of the E string. So we're going to put our first finger on the 5th fret of the E string. Our third finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the A string. So you can kind of see that. And then our fourth finger is going to be right behind that on the 7th fret of the D string. And we're only going to strum these 3 strings that we're holding down. You can hear it doesn't have any major minor quality to it. It just kind of sounds very heavy and very strong. Now there's another way to do this if you're having trouble with this. This is probably a better fingering for acoustic guitar, but generally power chords sound better on electric guitars. And here's another way to do it. Start again with your first finger on the 5th fret of the E string, and instead of using 3 and 4, we're just going to use 3, and we're going to bar it across 7 on the A string and 7 on the D string, both of those. But make sure you don't mute out the E string. You want that to ring out. We're just going to strum those same 3 strings. You hear it sounds exactly the same. It's just another way to do it. This one is the way I like to do it. So that's how we can find a power chord on the E string, and it can be completely moved around. You can move this anywhere you want. And a little distortion on your guitar never hurt with this. The next one I'm going to show you it has the root on the A string. So we're going to start on the 5th fret of the A string with our first finger. And we could use 3-4 on the 7th fret of the D and the 7th fret of the G, just like that. Or we could use our 3rd finger barred. It's virtually the same shape that we just constructed. It just is based off the A string now. It's just like we moved it down a string. It just goes down. So that's all we really did to it. And these can be moved around all up and down the fretboard. And you can switch strings with them. So that's kind of a cool little progression. And those are how you make power chords. And you can see in the printout in front of you all the different notes on the E and the A string. So if you want a B power chord, you can see that there's one on the 7th fret of the E string, and there's also one on the 2nd fret of the A string. You can hear it, they sound basically the same. And feel free to make your own songs with these, and it just helps you hear what's going on in rock and roll a lot better. Check out the next video. We're going to talk about how we can use palm muting and strumming rhythms with this. It's really cool. So thanks for watching.